the notification on my phone saying it was live.
Oh, there we go. Now it's saying live. So hopefully
Oh,
we're live
hi, everybody.
because it said failed to go live, and now all of a sudden it said live. So
We ain't shit.
welcome to the Juices Loose, number 170. And today we're just basically going to free, just kind of go free. What's the word I'm looking for? Free
balling.
No, that's the word I was thinking of. Free ball. What's freestyle?
Nice.
We're going freestyle. I just basically.
He's already done that. Check out his new video, folks. I want to beat him to it.
We had some third-party games come out since the last podcast, and we're basically going to just talk about that and any kind of little news or anything. If anybody has something they want to talk about, I know we hadn't really addressed EA and their backtracking on the loot boxes in Battlefront. I don't believe we talked about that last week.
You need to talk about that. That's some bullshit.
And it's just crazy that that was even a thing, like that they were going to try that because all their free. Oh, we're not going to have any DLC, no season passes. Remember when at E3 or at EA's thing right before E3, they're getting praised because we're not going to have season passes, no DLC, and then come to find out it's
because we're going to rob you in microtransactions
littered with loot boxes, and it's like, I mean, that stuff's in Rocket League, and some people, I ain't gonna name any names, Retro Death, it's gonna spend a few bucks, on that kind of stuff, and he's an adult and he can make that decision, but a Star Wars game.
The thing is, there's a big difference because in Rocket League you pay like what, €1, €2 or $2 or whatever, for a car or like exterior shit. But the thing with EA, what they're doing with Star Wars is that they're hiding like, it's actually a pay-to-win situation where you can pay for stuff that it takes you like 80 fucking plus hours to unlock in the game. So there's a small difference.
Yeah, and it's it just boggles my mind that this game they felt they needed to do that to make more money on, and it's like the last game sold like 10 million plus, I think, and it had such limited content. All you had to do was correct your mistakes, and almost guarantee this game's going to sell over 10 million copies. And the fact that they thought they needed to have these loot boxes in there and sneak in this way for extra money. But the interesting thing, and I said it somewhere, maybe it was in my Juice Opinions, like, this had to have been Disney. I feel Disney got wind of this and said something, because I don't see EA just pulling the plug like the day before the game came out.
I thought it was confirmed that.
Yeah, I thought it was confirmed, but I figured that from the beginning because EA don't give a shit. they would have kept full steam aheading.
Yeah, because somebody wrote an article apparently on basically compared loot boxes to gambling.
Yeah.
Like, teaching kids how to gamble, and
that's pretty much what it is.
It is pretty. It is a pretty fair comparison, actually. So I mean, we talked about this with Mortal Kombat X. I believe had you could pay $20 to unlock everything instead of going through the game, and we talked about back then.
I think you could pay for easy fatalities too, couldn't you?
Yeah, we talked about like what happened to wanting to play the game to progress. Like, I wouldn't play. There's a lot of games I wouldn't even bother playing past like beating it if it wasn't for the incentives. Oh, I got to unlock this. Like, I got to do this to unlock that. Like, I'm going to keep playing. I definitely want to unlock that thing or whatever it is. That's, to me, that's incentive to play the game. And if you can just buy it like immediately, that takes away the point of gaming to me. Like, a big point of playing a game is playing it to unlock. I'm trying to think of like the last game that was like I really wanted to keep playing to unlock stuff beyond.
You gotta come, Juice. It's like you gotta understand, man. Video game development is very expensive. These executives need their golden toilets.
Well, that's not even because the core of the problem is because I've noticed a lot of gamers, especially recently, have been more into, oh, well, why is this game so hard? Like, why? Like, that's why they keep making all those Dark Souls memes. Like, oh, it's like Crash Bandicoot is the Dark Souls platformers, that kind of shit. And I think the reality is that a lot of developers are trying to figure out ways, how do I get people to finish my game? Because like, okay, you can buy it, but a lot of people don't finish those games, and then they just sit in the back catalog. Or, oh, well, the game's too hard at this certain point, how do I make it easier? And loot boxes is a kind of solution to it, but it's not a good one, like, at all. And now, and hell, before the solution even got fleshed out to something like, into something competent, it got turned into a money making scheme by EA. And go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that because I read an article. I think it was Wall Street Journal. Some analysts who remains nameless because he's a scared little bitch. I guess you don't know nobody. He don't want nobody to know who he is after writing this or after saying all this bull crap. I have to find the article. I'll share it with you guys. Basically, he was saying what I was saying was that game development expensive. Gamers aren't paying enough for their games, and he started comparing it to like movies and how much more you're getting out of your game than over a movie. And he had some crazy math, 50 to 60 cents per hour or some kind of I was like, what in the world is this corporate shill talking about? Like it was it was like I was reading some alien article. I couldn't believe it. I'll have to find it. Somebody tweeted it to me. But it was just, this is the kind of stuff you're dealing with, folks. When it comes to these developers, and they're thinking they hire guys like this guy to blow smoke up their asses and tell them, no, you guys are precious and you're doing God's work, and these assholes aren't paying you enough. So yes, please gouge them for every dime they have. And this is the problem, with this industry, and it's the same in, like we were talking about earlier before we got on about Hollywood. It's the same there, and so this is the problem. This is what happens. When the industry starts to collapse in on itself. So that's my spiel from my soapbox.
All right, and the sad thing is, like, even if I haven't played Battlefront 2 other than the beta, and it's basically, if you liked Battlefront, you're probably gonna like it, and especially if you're a Star Wars fan who like Battlefront, you should really enjoy Battlefront 2. And it's not DICE's fault. Like they might have made a great game, and from some people,
and they got paid for their work already.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you got this big company, EA, making dumb decisions like at where I work with. You got idiots, in the UK, no offense, making business decisions for a company that's been running for 65, 70 years in America. We know what the business is, and they got this guy sitting over here across the pond thinking, he knows better than we know and making dumb decisions. So I feel bad for the people that work on the games and make, put a lot of time and effort, and whether the game's good or bad, now that EA makes those kind of decisions, it makes people hate on the game, and it's like, I feel bad for them.
I was going to say, because that's the sad part, because in the end, it's going to reflect upon the devs who have nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah.
It'd be great if none of that happened and EA just had stuck with their initial plan. Hey, no season pass for Battlefront, no DLC. We're gonna fix our mistakes. You got space battles. Everything they said at E3 sounded good. If they just left it at that, they could have won some good graces back with a lot of, not maybe a lot of people, but some people like myself. They might have won me or gained some points with me for something like that, and then they go and do something stupid, and then now they pull it. Just basically cleared the loot boxes, but then said they're going to find a way to bring them back in a better way or something.
Yeah.
What is hilarious about that is that technically the no DLC thing, the no season pass, that already was an apology for how they fucked people over with the first game in the first place.
Right. And that's why, I was, I'm a Battlefront fan from back in the day, and to see what they did with the reboot of Battlefront was atrocious, and I wasn't gonna, touch that, and I didn't touch it. And then they started to seem like they got it, and they put it in the campaign mode. They were talking the good talk, and then they fucked that up. Mm-hmm. They had to find a way. EA has to find a way. They keep running their mouths and then screw it up, and that's exactly what happened. And this is a debacle. I'm glad, at least there's some the negativity is sticking to them this time, and that's just we're upset, but we're still going to run out and buy the game. It seems like it's stuck enough to put some fear into Disney, at least, because I'm they don't want any kind of blemishes around their big movie coming out next month. So I'm sure they laid the hammer down, the Thor hammer.
We're fucking terrible. Turn it off. Turn it off. We're done.
I'm glad for that. But this isn't good enough for me. I'm actually thinking about starting a petition. I'm thinking about to send directly to Disney and hopefully get a bunch of people on, because it's not just the fact that EA totally botched Star Wars, because they shouldn't be in a position where they could botch Star Wars. Star Wars should be, because it's the world of Star Wars is so big and vast, and you can make so many types of different games. Remember, we had Star Wars Racer, and we had Star Wars for Battle Kasai, and we had fighting game, all this stuff based around Star Wars. EA cannot do all that, and the Star Wars license should be given to multiple studios.
Yeah.
To make these games, because there's so many different types of games that can be made in the Star Wars universe, and that would be better. We don't every one game a year, and it's a shooter online. That's what we're gonna do to Star Wars. Star Wars is so much more than that, and so I hope people jump on. This is my plug, I guess, early plug. I'm still putting it together, so hopefully next couple of days. It's not about me. This is about Star Wars. This is about improving video games based around.
But then you still franchises. You have diehard Star Wars guys saying that this is okay, EA did right, and the game's fun, and it's not as bad as people thought it was going to be, and this and that, and it's just I
don't understand.
Out of your ass. If you're truly a fan of something, to me, I don't let things slide because I'm a fan. Unless
me neither.
If I always talk about, if with God of War fans, if I was a God of War fan and I saw what they did to this new God of War turn to The Last of Us, I'd have been pissed. If Nintendo pulls that shit with Mario or Zelda, I'll be pissed. I was upset with what they did with giving Tecmo or Team Ninja the Metroid, and once I saw the final product, I was upset. I was like, I'm not gonna buy this game. It took me 5-6 years to play that game. I was so just upset with what I found out the game ended up being, all these cut scenes and this stupid, limiting controls, whether that was Nintendo's call or not. It's just I'm not going to sit there because I'm a fan of something and be okay with it not being handled properly. Now, like I said earlier, Battlefront 2 might end up being a good game at its core, especially if you like the Battlefield series. So it's not the worst, probably not the worst game, but why is that the only Star Wars game? Why is Battlefield?
Exactly.
Why is Star Wars Cross Battlefield all we've gotten?
Within how many years?
Real competition would make better games.
There used to be fight simulators and walking simulators and RPGs and racer all around Star Wars. What is this bullshit of one game a year, Battlefront?
It's because they realize if it had
Disney
real
can't
competition,
do better than that. But this is Disney. Disney can do better than that.
Oh, they could, but they don't have to.
Well, you know what though?
What's the reason for them to do better?
Who?
Disney.
Disney, no, Disney.
Because they're not gonna blemish the name like what Battlefront 2 was about to do.
They put a lot of money into Star Wars. They don't want to tarnish
why
it.
they didn't want them.
That's why they shut it down like they did.
Yeah.
But why not have a couple studios outside of EA and here we want this type of game? Who's the best at making an RPG? And
right.
Have a Star Wars game. Who's the best at making a third person adventure game or something?
As a Warriors fan, I would love to see a Star Wars Warriors game.
Star Wars Warriors,
perfect for it with the Jedi powers and lightsabers. And come on,
yeah. I mean, we can come up with 20 ideas for great Star Wars games, and then we're getting one that isn't even that good.
And the second one's only a sequel to one.
Because it's true what T said. When I was younger, you used to have on the NES, you had an awesome game where you fly around and then you walk around, and on the movie scenes, and then on the Super Nintendo, you had amazing platforming lightsaber games, and then you got the racer on the N64. Variety was almost part of the Star Wars universe.
You had the simulator games, you had the flight simulator games, you had all this cool
Rogue
stuff.
Squadron.
No, well, I will say that I actually for 24 hours had Battlefront 2. So what happened was I was having this huge thinking about it, so I pre-ordered for PC at Best Buy, and I got it. I picked it up, but the whole thing is when I picked it up, I was already having the intention to return it to get Skyrim, And so the whole thing is that when I held it in my hand, I felt like nasty, man. like honestly,
You felt filthy.
yeah, like it was like it's like. And then I heard that apparently even the single player is only like 2 hours or something like that. It was like
pretty short. It might be longer than 2, but
someone said that he's like, oh yeah, it's still a really good play. I beat it in 2 hours. I'm like, really? 2 hours?
What?
And so the whole
What
thing
is wrong with these people?
Yeah, and so I when I heard that, I was like, oh, this is even worse. I mean, like literally nothing is going good with this game, and I'm like, I genuinely felt like nasty. I'm like, well, can I give it in? And then they said, well, just don't open it, and you can return it, the next day. So the next day it came back, and I returned it, and I got Skyrim, and it was like it was one of those things where okay, well, I'm a listen to my heart and say you shouldn't do this.
I'm glad you did. I'm just shocked that you thought that was if you're getting it on PC, that game's gonna be $40 before the end of the year, even if you were thinking about getting it.
No, I know. That's why what's it called? Anyway, I'm sure they're gonna do like a Last Jedi deal for some reason. You know what I mean? Like they'll have like
because the first Battlefront, before it came out in the same time frame, before the end of the year, it was like $40, and then it was like $20 in the early part of the next year.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, maybe the community is dead and it's not worth getting at that point. But like, just to me, like, even if I was somewhat interested in the gameplay, that I just know that I don't have to wait long to not have to pay full price for it. And that's just kind of the way it goes, especially like EA Titanfall 1 was like $5. 9 months later, I paid $5 for it, and they had the $5 base version and the $20 one with all the DLC. That was part of the $110 one with the season pass, earlier in the year. And eventually they just gave all the DLC for free anyway, even to the version I bought for $5. Like a few months later, they said, nope, everything's free now. So screw you guys that paid $110 for this game. Screw you guys that paid $20 a few months ago. And here's the reward to the guy who paid $5, even though still didn't make me want to play the game. But it's just, that's going to happen in this game. These games are front loaded. And speaking of front loaded in EA, I did see that FIFA 18 sold 4.3 million copies on the PS4 in its first week.
Holy shit! Really?
Like, somebody in the chat earlier from the UK was just talking about how it's sad but true. The stereotype about the UK gamers only buy Call of Duty and FIFA, and the Switch version did 100,000. The Xbox One version did 1.1 million, and it's like almost 4.5 million. Like, what's the best first-party game exclusive on the PlayStation 4? I mean,
to me, Infamous. To me.
I was going to say that's debatable.
Uncharted 4.
That's like a how dare you.
Forget Uncharted 4. Forget Horizon. Forget Infamous. Forget God of War. FIFA does almost 4.5 million its first week. That just tells you who are the people that bought the PS4 for the most part.
It's done more than almost all of their first party combined.
Yeah,
that just tells you how casual the PS4 fan base is, especially in the UK, which does majority of FIFA does its sales in the UK. And it's like they're like we were for Madden, which Madden still does well, but not like that anymore.
Yeah, but like nowhere near as much.
And it's really sad. I'm glad I don't live over there, because I'd feel so out of place with those gamers over there.
Wow.
Trust me, it's like that in most of Europe. Because also when I was younger and I was living in the Netherlands, it was the same thing. PlayStation was the thing most people had. And when you went to go smoke with some people or you visited some friends or some shit, 9 out of 10 times they'd be playing FIFA, and I'd be sitting there like, yeah, great, I'm smoke my shit and I'm gonna fuck out of it because I don't give a fuck myself. I had my own group of friends, fortunately, who I used to bring my GameCube and shit, and we used to play Melee. Like, I have like literally 5,800 hours of Melee on there. Some people are open to other things, but it is true that the majority of people, because soccer over here is
soccer
so
hooligans.
big.
It's huge.
But they don't care buying the same game. like literally the same game every year? Like,
No.
Don't ask me. No, I don't know.
Remember, NBA still sells over here.
I know
mean,
it doesn't sell like that though. Like that's
hell, Call of Duty still sells over here. It's like we
Yeah,
had.
at least Call of Duty at least has different modes and
All I'm
shit.
saying is that the reality is that casuals make up most of the market for games anyway.
Yeah.
And so even though those will probably be the only games those dudes will buy, they are fucking dedicated to that one game they play once a year.
yeah.
You also have to remember those people. They don't collect like they get FIFA, and then when the next one comes out, they get rid of the old one, and that's why on flea markets, 9 out of 10 people they have FIFA, like 5 versions of FIFA because they buy the newest one and they don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just
That's
crazy.
why you buy
Sports games hold no value anyway. They're usually, if you go on like eBay and I want to get a GameCube lot, and it's just all a bunch of Madden trash for like $2 a game.
I always say this, and I believe this. Nintendo fans, we buy quality and we don't sell that shit because it's quality shit.
Mhm.
You know, that's why on flea markets and in stores you barely see Nintendo shit because we keep our stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive to collect that shit because you can't find it.
And that's why when you find a Zelda or I don't know, a Pokemon game, you almost pay like retail value for a brand new game.
I looked today and what is it? Splatoon 1 is still $60 at Walmart. Are you kidding me?
That is kind of fucking ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I wonder, wasn't there like a list of Black Friday deals for Switch games? Was FIFA getting a price drop?
No.
I don't know, but what's funny is that if you see the Black Friday deals, I saw the page on Best Buy, and literally the Black Friday deal is that the Switch is in stock, and the other deal is Sumaru Odyssey listed at $60.
You will see no discounts on first
Yeah,
party.
I think Bomberman is gonna be off of that.
Bomberman, yeah, there's some third-party games that are
third-party games are getting discounts.
No,
I think Bomberman just got
like 25.
Yeah, there can be some good deals in there.
Yeah, it's just not for the really attractive games. Yeah, FIFA, $29.99.
Yeah, FIFA's $30 and
yeah, but I don't think that's the Switch version.
yeah, it is.
I'm looking
is
right
it?
now.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
If I had friends lobby at $30, I might think about it. It might, I would consider that.
Yeah,
He's not getting money.
I was like, EA's fucking garbage. We've been through
But
this.
it's not giving me my Gamers Club discount, I guess.
It's also because NBA 2K is a better
'cause I'm
game.
not signed in.
Yeah, it is.
I am
Just
signed in. I wonder
35
why.
hours and
I
counting.
will,
in that
I will,
bitch.
I would say I will always throw shade at FIFA for that because it just pisses me off. You can't run up there and keep saying the same stupid shit about, oh yeah, we're totally dedicated to supporting these consoles, and then you don't even patch in one of the most basic features a game should have that has online functionality.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking dumb.
When indie companies are doing it.
Yeah, like it's not even like, oh, it's a limitation of hardware. No, you're just being fucking lazy.
Yeah.
And then you'll sit there and go, oh, we only sold 100,000 copies. It wasn't worth the money.
You had no effort. You put no effort into it. What do you expect?
Why doesn't my Gamers Club apply to a sale price Black Friday deal? I guess
Because EA is trash. I thought we just went through this.
That's curious. This is my first Black Friday with a Gamers Club membership, and it does not apply to sale prices. I guess I can understand that.
Have you tried other games?
Someone just said in the chat that it doesn't stack with Black Friday deals. So just something to
That'd be
know.
fucking ridiculous.
Awesome, imagine.
I would say that'd be pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be pretty insane.
I know,
considering how cheap some of these games are.
but yeah, it's just I don't know.
You think that's well? See how it says you said 100,000. What do you think is that point where EA was like, that's a good amount of sales for FIFA? You know what I mean? Like, what
I don't think EA had any real intentions to be.
I would think 100,000. That's pretty much guaranteed all full price.
Yeah.
So that's $4 million.
They're like, we can make some money.
Yeah, but
we're
that's
gonna
only
make some money
in the UK, right? That's not counting the US.
No, that's worldwide. That's
Oh, was
feature
it?
shirts. Yeah.
Oh my
But
god!
most of that was Europe, though.
God.
But so that's first couple days, first week, whatever. You know, the game will probably end up between 2-3, 100,000 range.
Oh,
And
we'll
like
see.
kind of like with the Wii U, that's still like let's say it only does 300,000. That's going to be 12 million probably going into their pocket Well,
Yeah.
with the reduced price, I don't know, how that works out. Let's say like 10 million. What was the porting process? There's no way that costs more than $1 million.
I was gonna say,
Port
well,
that
it was $1
game.
million on Wii U. I'm guessing it's cheaper.
Yeah, it must be
So-
cheap.
I would assume so.
But they'll be like, nope, we're not bringing the next one. But if you bring the next one and you fix some things, it's still EA and it's still gonna, it's still gonna piss most people off. But if you just have everything there with 19, just like with NBA, if NBA 2K19 has like everything on the cart, if you get it physical and they got shit figured out and the save files somehow they've streamlined, reduce that. I'll be like, all right, they're taking the right direction, and maybe they can build a fan base now like
Show
that.
some confidence and
And-
let people know you're gonna support the game after you drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of stuff,
Yeah, I have a feeling FIFA got a patch from what I heard, but it didn't add anything. They just fixed some bugs, and it's like
yeah, it was like a really simple bug.
you're just
fix.
leaving it as it is, like this.
They don't give a shit.
As like I said, EA is trash. 2K
Why
is
should we care?
in problems with the goddamn
Fuck.
game.
Anyway, let's stop talking about EA.
But they just act like we're in a bubble. Like, I got other consoles. Like, I won't buy your shit on anything. Like, it's not, they think, oh, we're just segmenting the Nintendo fans. Well, a lot of us have other consoles, asshole.
But the problem is, it doesn't make sense anyway. Why would you do that? Why even go?
I have no idea.
Why go through the effort? Because they didn't. It's not like Nintendo. They didn't publish that game. Like
No.
EA put in the money. So you put in the money to do this really close but not quite cigar game, and then just be like, oh, well, we're done with it.
Because it was a calculated risk. It was like that they put out FIFA because they figured FIFA would sell. And then they just, it was basically a test. Like you hear a lot. Whoa, we're testing the market on Switch or whatever. They were literally testing to see if they can make some quick money off of FIFA on Switch. That's all.
I also feel like FIFA isn't even a fair game, not only because of the problems with the game, but on top of that, FIFA appeals, like we've been saying, mainly to Europe.
Yeah.
Europe being Nintendo's weakest market.
And
Right.
the
That's
casual
my
gamer.
point. That's my
And the
point. They didn't
casual
care.
gamer.
They didn't care about that. They just wanted to. They knew they would make probably the most money of anything. At least that was their calculation. Is that we'll put FIFA out because FIFA sells. It's a casual, game, and the UK loves it. So we'll put it out. We'll definitely make our money back, and we'll see how much more we can make over that. And
I do
that's
think
as far as they saw it.
Nintendo tried banking on that too. That they tried to get a bigger grasp on Europe again. Because in the early days of the Switch, the first couple of months when they had commercials, you had like a commercial, like one commercial that consisted out of what was it? Splatoon, Pokken maybe, and
ARMS
FIFA. Like
and
they
FIFA, yeah.
bundled it together because I think FIFA is a way for them to conquer the European market. I think it's just failing because by now they alienated the fan base so much, and Nintendo fans barely care about FIFA anymore.
Yeah. Like Neostar said in the chat, even if FIFA sold well, we still wouldn't be getting anything else from EA. We wouldn't. So it's true.
They're not going to look at, trying to rebuild the fan base. They're going to look at Xbox One sold 1 million, PS4 sold 4, Wii sold 100,000, or Switch. They're not going to look at the install base in Europe. They're not going to look at anything because the PS4 probably, when that launched, I bet you FIFA did 1 million on the PS4 at launch because that's where the audience is. And there's a guy I watch his channel Switch Up, and he's got like 600 or 700 subscribers. Well, the first video I saw him, his video was talking about FIFA. As somebody lives in Europe, he's a fan of soccer, football for those that live over there. And he was like, the video started with him waking up, rolling over, grabbing a Switch, and playing FIFA in bed and having it be. I mean, it's a pretty good looking version in handheld. It looks really good, and he made a good video about it. And he was kind of excited to be able to play FIFA on the go. And it just like if EA would, there's an opportunity there in that market to like try to win over some fans and establish a fan base. But we'll see. Then they don't do the friends lobby, and now they're like, well, we don't know about future support. Like, they would just come out and the one game they make, support it fully, give it the if people complain, no, you can't play with friends, add that, keep it updated with bug fixes and stuff, and then come out with the next one And that's how you, like T always says, that's how you establish a fan base, because there hasn't been that on Nintendo for a long time. But no, they're just going to look at 100,000 first week sales wasn't worth their time.
And they had no worry. Here's the thing: they had nothing to worry about as far as the Sony fan base or the Microsoft fan base, even to some extent, about that FIFA doing well on those platforms. They could have really pushed FIFA on Switch and not hurt. It wouldn't hurt. Those platforms. Those people still have PS4s and Xboxes way more than they have Switches, and they could have pushed it and almost did almost like a cross promotion type of thing. They could have saved money pushing the Switch version even more. So it took was some effort. People just want to see effort, man. Like, if you're not putting any effort into it, and you putting out these bogus ass statements about how hard it was, like, it's just, you'd be shooting yourselves in the foot.
And Nintendo's putting it in their ads like constantly, like
they're really trying to push it.
And
That was Mario Kart, by the way.
And the company who made it isn't. That's the sad.
Oh, okay, Retro.
But anyway, let's talk about some good third-party games on the Switch. Because Robert, you picked up Skyrim. RetroDeath, you're a big Skyrim fan. You bought it. Let's start with Skyrim, because it looks like everything I've seen. It looks like a really solid version of Skyrim. I was surprised at how good it looked in some of the direct feed footage I've seen while it was docked. Really clean, sharp visuals. Frame rate seems to be solid. So, how are you feeling about Skyrim on the Switch?
I'll go first then, I guess.
I guess.
Like, I started, like, Skyrim is one of those few rare games like Skyrim and Borderlands. It's one of those games in my life I never stopped playing them, always playing them, which is why I never hesitated to take it on the Switch, to take it on the go. And when I plugged it in, I was seriously surprised at how good it looked. When I was playing, and I had this shot, I was in a cave, and there was this lighting and mist, and my fiance walked in the room, and she saw it. She was like, "Damn, that looked like concept art," because it did. They really went all out to really make it look as good as you can. Like those comparisons you see sometimes where you see like Skyrim on the Switch and the PS4, and the only thing that's different is like one bush missing or something, and that's actually it. Like graphically, it looks really good, and it sounds good, and it plays amazing, and I can't put it down, and I actually have played it portable here and there, because games like Skyrim, like when I start playing it, I create like 5 characters, for example, so that I know what character I want to play with, and play like, because one character you play hundreds of hours with them. So I was still creating characters. I was like, damn, I gotta go to work, man. So I actually took the Switch up, took it with me to work, because it's a very calm period right now, end of the year always. I just spent like 2 hours building a character and shit. It's amazing. I can't stop playing it, and it never ceases being fun. And with the Pro controller and everything, it's amazing. It looks good, and I think if you even slightly like RPG games or open world games, you should pick it up, because people like to say it's a 6-year-old game, but it is not a 6-year-old game. This version was only released last year, and you can see it, that it is not just some kind of 360 game. It is not.
It's funny how people rag about it being an old port when it's on a Nintendo console. They didn't rag about that last year when it was on PS4 and Xbox One. Nobody said anything about, it's too old of a port.
Robert, did you get any hands on with Skyrim on the Switch? Or?
Yeah, I was playing it yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday, right? Yeah. I was playing it yesterday, and I played. I want to say not a ton of Skyrim on the 360. I played a solid amount, but not as much as I would like to. And so the great thing about this one is I can take it on the go. And so when I will work, I plan to probably play more Skyrim than any other probably game, if not maybe LA Noire, because that's another, like those two are the 2 games that I got there. Just like, dude, I never really dived deep into Skyrim, and I just never played LA Noire, period. And Skyrim looks great, plays great. I did a little bit of the motion controls because I played with my Joy-Con separate, and
he said, fuck that, and moved on. How do you feel about that?
You could swing your sword like swinging your sword, and it's pretty cool.
No, stop lying. That's true.
No, honestly, it's like I think the left Joy-Con is pretty pointless, but like the right Joy-Con just swing. It's a nice little added touch that I like that they added to it, because I did it for a little bit.
It's worse than
like,
Twilight Princess B, man. Come on.
What?
I feel like T's over here trying to push an agenda here.
It didn't look good when I was watching someone play it, but I didn't.
Because I heard people talk pretty positively about the motion controls.
Yeah, no, I didn't
The
think it was
aiming
bad.
is what I
The
heard.
aiming, the arrow, that is
No,
great.
I didn't. Oh, really? I don't know. I haven't tried that.
So you missed out on the best part of the motion controls.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty cool though. That you get.
Wow.
He
I'm
played
so
it for 5
sad.
minutes.
Oh my God, Robert!
He
so
played it for
sad.
5 minutes. He didn't
You
get a
played it
ball.
for 5 minutes.
I didn't play.
How
I played
could
it
you?
for like a couple hours, and
Are you joking?
You played a couple hours and you didn't do the motion.
I'm done.
aiming with the.
oh, my boat. No, man. I used my
You
sword.
kill me, man. You kill me.
I don't understand.
Wow. Get out.
But like it again. I don't remember how much I played of the 360 version, but of what I played of the Switch, it looks great. I played on a handheld for a little bit. I'm like, it looks good in there, and yeah, it's Skyrim and it's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's one of the games I believe actually runs at 720p on the handheld mode.
Yeah, it does.
Like, legit run.
Yeah, not the roaming.
Well, it is a 6-year-old game. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
I mean, it's not just that it looks so good, and I mean, they went all out. Not just the fact that it looks good, but like you guys said, they added the motion controls. I used the fucking amiibo support and shit. They added amiibo
Oh,
support.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's amazing.
And they added the recording 30-second video feature to that game.
Yeah,
Added that.
they fucking won. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was great.
It seems to be a pretty solid port. Of course, I'm watching Game Informers talking about, like, the guy gave it a 9 out of 10. So they're on this low, like a IGN, what is that video series where the four guys sit at a
Nintendo
table?
voice chat?
Yeah, like that. And they go, well, how does it stack up to the Xbox 360 and PS3 version? That was their question to the guy.
What the fuck?
It's like, why would you just say PS4
Apparently, it
Xbox
stacks up
One
better
or-
because it
Yeah, they thought that was the relevant question, not how it stacks up to the PS4, Xbox One remaster, but how does it stack up to the Xbox 360 version? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I had to turn the video off.
Oh, you said Xbox 360. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
stupid.
His first question was, how does it look compared to 360 and PS3?
Well, I'll tell you because I played Skyrim this year, earlier this year, on my 360, and that was one of the first things I noticed. Was like, whoa, this looks a lot better than that blurry, choppy mess that was on 360. And it didn't look that way when you played it on 360, but now you notice it because the Switch version looks so much better. And obviously, it's the same, pretty much the same version they got last year on PS4 and Xbox One. So
That's what I said. Because
yeah, go ahead.
I also played. I also played the PC version, but still the old version, and I have a mod on it for an HD texture pack on the mod, and this still looks
Still looks
better.
better than that. Yeah,
It still looks better.
it's clean,
When-
man. It's like
those-
really clean.
It is a clean
Yeah,
game,
like
yeah.
those comparisons, like I'm not exaggerating. The only difference that I can tell, I don't have a 4K TV, but the only difference I can tell when you see the comparisons is just a little bit of foliage gone, and that is it. It actually even looks fucking sharper on the Switch, and a lot of people always cry about the Nintendo
colors.
games are always blurry
Oh,
as
it's
fuck,
sharper
you know?
and the colors pop more for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? What I will say, it's what's funny about this game, Skyrim. The very first guy that you run into that saves you out of that the dragon attack and stuff. You could kill him in quotation marks because I started fighting him, and you're just supposed to. He tells you, "I'll see you." Go on your way, and I'm like, no, fuck that! I'm gonna kill this guy. So
You could do anything. You could
Look at the
literally-
spoiler for the 6-year-old
Literally.
game.
But I mean,
that's gonna fuck your game.
That's in the first 5 minutes of the game.
the thing is, like, he gets back up, and I'm running away, and I run way farther away than I thought, and all of a
No.
sudden,
he gets you.
like literally 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes away from him, and then two seconds later, all of a sudden, an arrow runs by me. I'm like, oh shit, the guy's back, and he's coming to kill me. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude,
can
you
do-
ran all this way to kill me. I'm just gonna run
Robert's
away.
gonna play this like GTA. I already know how
You
this
can really do anything in this game, but there's things that the game obviously does not want you to do. And if you do those things, it's almost like the cuckoos from Zelda games. Like, they will get you, son. Like, it's like horror movie monsters. They will come after you and they will
And
find
the thing
you.
is, I think probably like maybe even an hour later, 2 hours later, if you come back, he'd probably still be angry at you.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
start to
damn it!
save, you still
Now
don't-
that town is cursed. Now I can't go back.
Yeah. I've done that, and I just had to go back to an earlier save. It was like, oh, I got to get out of this. But yeah, I mean, like even more so than like Breath of the Wild, where you get sidetracked. You can super get sidetracked in this game. And that's one of the reasons I never like quote unquote beat it, is you don't really have to beat this game. It's not that kind of a game. It's almost like it reminds me of like World of Warcraft, when people were just like playing that game like it was their life. Like you can literally like create this character and that you just kind of go into that world for a little bit, and it's not about finishing it. I mean, you can, but to me it's way more compelling than just like run around and do all these side quests and just discover all this crazy stuff. And that can go on for freaking years, if you want to play it that way. So I mean, I was like, oh, I already put 122 hours or whatever in this game. I'm gonna get it on Switch. I'm gonna play it. Occasionally when I have time, and that'll be cool. It'll be a side thing. But I started it last night, and I put like 6 hours in straight. I was like, what am I doing? It was like 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I was like, God, I'm stuck again. I'm back in to this game. But it's funny because it like. It's everybody loves Skyrim, but Skyrim, you love the flaws in Skyrim too. Like it has like that jankiness, like because it has all these scripted things that happen, but sometimes the character who goes into this scripted sequence isn't in his right place, so he just like jump, like disappear and reappear where he's supposed to be. It's hilarious, but you just kind of love that stuff.
So why don't you tell us your thoughts on LA Noire then, since you probably bought that too?
Oh boy. Who, me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't buy it. I've held off. I'm gonna hold off
till tomorrow.
You talked me off the ledge. I'm gonna wait. a little bit. But yeah.
Well, Robert got it and was playing it, so I guess we'll get your take on it.
Okay, so I never played LA Noire before, but I was always like, I always looked at it like I was interested in it, and then so like this came out obviously to Switch, and I'm like, oh shit, well this is a perfect time to play it. Cool. and so I picked it up, and man, it's very different. It's very different, and I like it a lot. Like I like how the missions are. Like I didn't really know what to expect from it, and then like for instance when T was telling me, it's a slow game, and it definitely is like technically a slower game, but I would say it's a fast slow game.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What I mean by that is like I think it's just because there's always something you got to do in these missions. For me, like with the problem with GTA single player is that like I feel like they take you to a place, you shoot up the place, and you come back. That's really it.
Yeah.
But like for LA Noire, what's cool is like, oh, I there was this body, and all of a sudden I picked up a gun, and then the guy's like, all right, well, let's go to the gun shop. And then so we go to the gun shop, and like we give the guy the gun, and then he's like, oh, well, and then you look at the address book, and in that address book you find the name. With that name, you go to that address. It's cool. It's super cool. Like how it constantly is telling you to go to a different place to do something different, and I like that a lot. I think it's really interesting, and I'm liking it. I think it's pretty damn cool, and it's again another solid port. Where I think it is 720 on the handheld, and it's 1080 docked, and it's got touchscreen, got motion controls, but I don't know why you want that, to be honest, because it's all it does is control the camera, and I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of random, but hey, if you want it, you got it there, and it's good. It's pretty damn cool, and I'm liking it, and it probably is better than the GTA single player already, to be honest, and I like it. I like it. I like the very thing that I'm a police officer. I'm gonna fight some crime. I think it's pretty cool. I like it, and with the Rockstar twist. I think it's pretty cool.
Interesting too is like that game was kind of not really popular when it came out. Now they do this remaster, and I haven't seen one like Digital Foundry analysis comparison. Like I just don't think people care about LA Noire that much.
Apparently, which is weird because when I was playing, I was like, nah, I think this is way better than I think. Like definitely underrated. It looks like what I've played. It's like it's cool. I like this. So
it'll be interesting to see if it sells on any platform. Really,
it was pretty high in the UK charts.
I think it was number 10 on the eShop charts. So
I think because the Switch version was the lowest selling version from what I saw. Like it was PS4, Xbox One, and then it was the Switch version. And the Switch version was probably the closest to Xbox One, but the gap between PS4 and Xbox One was actually surprisingly wider than I thought it would be. But then again, that's
There's
because
still a massive install base at PS4.
yeah, I knew people were going to more likely. But I will say this: when I went to Best Buy this weekend, they, at least for us, at least for that Best Buy, I was in there looking at games and I saw Doom. I didn't see any copies of Skyrim and LA Noire. I thought I was surprised because I went back twice. They restocked on like Batman, Telltale, and Skyrim and whatnot. But I was surprised to see that, like, as I was coming in, some dude had just bought like the last copy, and either they didn't stock a lot of LA Noire for Switch, or that shit sold out quick. So I'm curious to see how the US numbers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you posted that, and then I went to Best Buy, and they had a shit ton of Skyrim and LA Noire. Way more Skyrim, though. I feel like if they were smart, they didn't print 3 million copies.
They probably just
LA Noire. I'm thinking more like maybe 200,000 or something for the Switch,
which is fine.
Both of those games are perfect for Switch. Skyrim, but also LA Noire because of what they've done with the touchscreen controls and stuff, and because it's a detective game. It's just like it makes a lot of sense to just like sit back and play that game that way. On the couch or lying in bed.
Yeah, I want to play it lying down.
Wow.
That's a game that could be a potential like February pickup for me, depending on what else comes out. Because it's just right now it'd be stupid of me to buy it. I'm still trying to find time to play Mario Odyssey in between my Rocket League sessions.
Yes. Yeah, you would become full on obsessed, sir.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I wish I would have played it before, but then I'm also glad I didn't because playing on PC, I just didn't have. I don't have like a community of friends that I would have played with on PC, and I just would have just been playing randoms and stuff. And it is cool to have my first experience be on the Switch and be a good experience. So I did my Juice Opinions yesterday. I was talking about how for me it's like the online it's my favorite online game on the Switch, and it's not like I've been playing it for months, and it will the test of time if it will stand up, I don't know. A year from now I'll still be interested in playing Rocket League. A month from now, a lot of people still do that. Like Retro Death still plays it. I know a guy, he still plays it. For the last 2 years he's been playing it. So but it's so far for me, it's one of, if not it's probably the best third-party game I got on the Switch. But I don't have a ton. Like I got Snake Pass, I got SteamWorld Dig 2, which SteamWorld Dig 2 is great too, but I just wasn't expecting Rocket League to be this fun, have that easy of or that good of an online experience. Like I haven't even seen lag yet, and I've got at least 10 hours in the game, and almost all of it online. So we've been playing. T and I played with Lil Cray on Friday night.
Blast.
That's the most fun I've had gaming online since our like Smash heyday on the Wii U, year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever the peak time was for us. And before that, it was like Call of Duty for the first time going online type of stuff. Like I am hooked, and we just had a blast. And then was that Saturday night? It was Retro, Robert, and Terrell and I
missed that one. So
with some other people, Red Knight and ASAP Rao and Nintendo Ultra. We just did a private lobby, and it was always an odd number, so we always had at least one bot. But man, we had some close battles and some epic last second goals, and that shit is just fun. And then Retro leaves, and then it's just me, Robert, and Terrell, and we're just getting smoked.
To be fair, we started trying different modes, and
I was like, "Hey guys, I guess you weren't here when we discussed how the person in the farthest back stays in the goal
because you're not just takes off.
You're not going to hit the ball. You're not going to hit from the guy who's half the distance, from the ball than you." And then also we had the little issue with everybody going in the corner. All three of us are going to the ball at the same time. No one's staying in the center. But once kind of started communicating, thanks to Google Hangouts and chatting, then we scored some goals by somebody hanging out in the center, and I was like, you know, and it's just the evolution of us as a team that in that last hour or so was really incredible. And there's so much depth to the mechanics. Like there's still so much to learn. The aerial stuff, I barely even touched. I had one aerial goal so far where I hit it like probably about 15 feet off the ground, and I hit it into the goal. Like there's just so much skills. Like it's good for beginners, but then you start learning stuff, and they're like, wow, this is a whole new game. All of a sudden, I figured this out, and then like, oh, I can do this, you know, and it just keeps opening up, and I can't wait.
Remember that one guy? I think he was a PC player, and he's like, we got smoked. Yeah, we got smoked, but he scored basically all the damn shots.
Yeah, he's just like
9-0.
He's hitting the ball, and he follows it, he hits it, and then he hits it from the corner, then he immediately goes out, curves back around towards the center, and hits it in. Like, and he's flying through the air.
That was a one-man team. I don't remember any of his other team members. He did everything.
Like, let's be clear. I played that Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night. Like,
oh my God,
we had a lot of time in this game. And me, you, and Lil Cray went against this other team of 3, and we kept rematching. I would say at least 10 times.
At least 10 rematches.
I friended all those guys, and they all accepted. Thane, Jonathan, and just the letter T. And we just went back and forth. We had
that's really clever.
We had matches where they won 4-1, and then matches where we won, and then there was like last second goals to tie it, and it was just
so much fun, man.
I was like,
much fun.
I'd be curious because on Twitter I posted a screenshot of the Batmobile, and then you had Red Knight was like, I don't think that game would hold my interest because it's just repetitive, same thing over and over. Well, that's a lot of online games you could say that about. And then he was playing it, and I'd be curious to hear what someone in his situation thinks after having played it. Because I was just like, yeah, it looks like a fun game. I'd probably play it for the online, and it's just like it's like the perfect game for me, as far as an online game, because it's involving cars and sports, 2 things I like, and then there's a nice unlocking system in there of getting new, like, customize your car and stuff, and the online lobby system works pretty damn good. Other than you can't join a friend. That's the only weird thing. You can't just like, oh, Mr. T's playing online, I'll just join him and, you know, like Mario Kart, spectate until I can get in.
Yeah, it
doesn't have that option. You have to party up, and then the party leader finds a match. You have text chatting while you're waiting. You know, it's a really slick system. Like I said, I didn't see any lag. I don't know if any of you guys did.
I've never seen any.
There's a guy with like 400 ping.
Yeah, they show you the ping, and it's just like,
I didn't see any teleporting or nothing. Like, crazy how well that game, and it looks better. The first time I played it, I was like, man, why isn't that game running at 1080? It's not doing anything impressive. And like the next time I saw it, I was like, oh, there's some pretty good grass texture here. And then third time I played, I was like, man, this game just looks really good.
I think it's the speed and like the physics, and that probably all, that's probably all what affects the overall resolution and stuff. So
it's a solid.
Physics is just like, I mean, if that guy, what was his name? Featherly?
Yeah, Featherly.
Yeah. If that guy could be that good at the game, there's obviously like learnable physics in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he's flying all over. He's hitting the ball. Just
he was making that shit look easy.
I couldn't even hit the in the training, the tutorial, a stationary ball in the air.
You could hit the fucking ball when it was coming right at you, just jump right past the shit. Like, god damn, I thought I had lined up.
We're waiting for the ball to come down to us so we can hit it, and all of a sudden,
it's like,
whoa! We see the replay. He's just fine, just flying towards it, hits it.
He's doing like celebration flips and shit. Fuck you, good. Fuck you.
Yeah, but that, I mean, as much as I like Doom, and I played a couple matches online, and that going from the 60 frames per second Rocket League, I was like, oh, Doom's gonna feel terrible. Doom felt almost faster than it did before. Like, it felt just as good. So, just anybody wondering if you're still on the fence about,
I don't know about that. That game is like, there's some fairy dust sprinkled on that game. I don't know how it still feels as fast as it does at the frames.
And we were going to play that, but T had a little snafu. But let's get everyone else's take on Rocket League, because everyone here has played it and we all played together. So, Terrell, how about you? Because you were kind of probably on the fence the most, I think, about the game. You got also picked up Pokemon, so you didn't play it as much as I did.
I think I'm about to say, I think the last time I played it was the last time we played. No, that's a lie. I played it like Tuesday. I think we played a little bit Monday, and then I played it again Tuesday, and I hadn't really touched it until Saturday. It was because I haven't bought a lot of these other third-party games. I didn't buy NBA. I didn't buy Doom. I didn't buy.
You're part of the problem, sir.
No, I'm being smart about this shit. I'm not gonna. I say this as I just bought a PlayStation 4 game today, but that's a different story. But
smart about this and buy Sonic Forces.
How's that near Automata or whatever? How's that?
Automotive.
Automata.
No, it's still in the shrink wrap. That's the.
So is my Watch Dogs too.
That's probably the problem. I'm gonna take it out this weekend. Damn it, I got Turkey Day to work on. Shit. That's besides. Anyways, because I haven't bought all these games, I wanted to be a little bit more cautious about what games I invested and didn't invest into. And for some stupid ass reason, I'm looking at Rocket League. And I bought, and that was an impulse buy. For those who don't know, I didn't plan to buy Rocket League off the top of my head. It was one of those things I was probably the closest to getting. So I was like, I'll probably wait a few days. I bought that shit the day it came out. I was like, I'm probably gonna regret this. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first started playing, I felt kind of rough because, like, and these guys know I'm fucking trash. I was absolute garbage.
Yeah, you didn't even do the tutorial. You went right on.
Yeah,
well, because you guys wanted to get online.
I did.
I did the tutorial.
Oh, really? No, I
didn't finish them, but I got into the tutorials.
I did tutorial later on, but like when I first got on, it was literally I just jumped to an online match and I had to figure that shit out. And that shit, I'm not gonna lie, like the first few times we played, I was pretty demoralized. I was like, damn, I'm not even like.
We can tell. We can tell in the chat.
Yeah, I was like, man, and I think it wasn't until probably when we played Saturday, it was like within the last 2 hours of us playing. Shit started clicking.
Yeah, you started getting goals.
And it's one of those things. It's one of those games that I will say is a truly rewarding game when you do get good and you start figuring out the physics and how you can manipulate your car to do these tricks in the air and to do front flips and back flips and it's a game that you have to work to get good at, and I appreciate that. I will say, as someone who really is, and I still wouldn't call myself good at the game, someone who isn't great, it's very rewarding. And for those who are just getting into it and maybe having similar issues, do not stop. It does get fun and it gets good, especially if you have friends to play with. I am thoroughly, I've already got my $20 out of it. From what I've played right now, I've already got my $20 out of it. So the fact that we'll probably still keep playing, shit, that's fine. Fine with me. I love the game.
Ain't no probably in it, boy. I have no choice.
Probably in with Mr. Obsessed over here. I already fucking know.
Yeah, and I jumped on Twitter because I was gonna check a poll results, and I see a post. ASAP Rel, Red Knight, Little Cray were all on a team, and they're all semi-pro. So it tells you they're more than just gave it a quick try. They're still playing.
They're moving up because it takes a while to get out a rookie into semi-pro.
Yeah, you gotta be level 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I was like, because me and Robert fucking ended up both
at
going
the same time.
Yeah.
So I
I was first. Sorry, I'm just like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I did a poll on which third-party game most likely to sell 1 million on the Switch, and I put Skyrim, Rocket League, Doom, and all of the above. Surprisingly, all of the above won. That tells me people don't really know what they're doing.
Wow.
Because there's no way all three of those are going to sell 1 million copies.
Wow, you are trash. Why give the option then?
I was just thought, just in case. But no, Rocket League got 33% of the votes. All the above got 34%. Which, I mean, there's a chance, but I really don't see Doom selling 1 million on the Switch. I'm sorry.
You think Skyrim might?
Skyrim has a chance. Rocket
will
League
definitely.
sure. Skyrim had 19%. Doom was at last with 14%. So I think for $20, it's number one on the eShop, and it shows the online totals. We haven't really confirmed if that's Switch only or if that's PC and Switch combined. That'd be
In the options menu, you have to actually how do you say that? Untick.
disable. But that doesn't change. Unchecking that doesn't change how many players it shows.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it changes nothing. So,
Doesn't.
so I'm guessing this each version shows the player pool for that for that system, I would think, and it was like 80, 60, 70, 80,000 at all times. Which
Yeah,
is,
the thing it says, I think the 80,000 is on people that are online, but I think the other number is in-game people actually.
no, because then you go to the actual modes and then it breaks it down. Well, this one's got 10,000 players, 8,000 players. So I'd be curious to find out what that number means and if it's combined. Because if it's just Switch, because usually your online totals is about 10% of how many people bought the game. That's how it was on Call of Duty. If Call of Duty sold 10 million in its first week, you might see close to, what did I say, 10%, like 900,000, 1 million users online. If the Wii U sold 200,000 copies, there was 2,000 people playing at any given point. So
next time I'll just boot up my PC game. We can double check that shit.
Yeah, I'd be curious. But yeah, it was anyway, Robert, what's your thoughts on Rocket League? Because you played it briefly on the PS4, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I played a little bit of a run on PS4 when it was quote unquote free, and then I don't have PS Plus, so I can't play it anymore. But I thought it was free. What happened?
I get so sad when I hear that shit.
And so obviously when I saw it was coming to Switch, I was like, oh, hell's yeah, that's gonna be an awesome game night game. So of course you're gonna want to play that. And it's only $20. It's like, fuck yeah, why not? And so it's awesome. It really is damn awesome. And no, I'm not good. No, I'm not good. But there are times where you score something, or it's one of those games where I felt like I was getting really hyped. Sometimes you guys know where I'll be like, "Yeah," so like, oh, you make noises. It was fun. And then anytime I would miss something, I get angry. It's fun. It's a very competitive, well, also very fun game, and it looks clean. It runs good. It just, it doesn't look clean though, is like right when the match starts, and it just has to load up all the textures.
Load them textures.
And then it looks dirty.
Looks like an Atari
It's like
game.
a PSP or something,
Y'all dirty bastards. Chill out, yo.
It's so funny. But it's like that for like literally like 2 seconds, and it goes
Nah, it's more than 2 seconds, bro. All right.
You got fast pretty good though, because you score a lot, and I think one match we had like 8 goals, and like 6 of those were yours.
Oh, well, I think, yeah, there you go. So thank you.
He didn't need that validation, Retro.
Thank you, Retro. Thank you,
Getting
Retro, for
lucky.
making me sound good.
He gets lucky a lot in games. Like,
He also shit talks too damn much.
I love it.
I keep every time in the game just to let people know that I'll say, oh, let's say Terrell's not on my team. I'll be like, Terrell's the worst player. That was the worst shot I've seen. And when he's on the team, he's like, oh yeah, I got the greatest player, Terrell, on the team. So
Hey, don't trust anything fucking Robert says.
but it's such a fun damn game, and especially if you do have a group to play with. I mean, it's a must buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's one of those games, definitely for sure.
All right, Retro, you've been playing this game for a long time, and you don't have a very capable PC. So for you, you were kind of. I don't know if I'm remembering this right, but I think you said the Switch version looks better than what your PC can do at this stage with Rocket League.
It's very weird because some games look really good on what I'm building a new one, but on what I have now, some games that you would think are really heavy look really good. Like they work pretty well, and for some reason, Rocket League, I have to put it on lowest of low, and even then, it still is a bit like choppy. The frame rate is very weird. So yeah, when I put in, that's why I knew I wanted to get the Switch, not only because the on-the-go aspect, but then I was like, great, now I can play it in like full screen with like beautiful visuals and shit, and it definitely paid off. And for me, the thing I like most about it, because I had quite some hours on the PC, because I just bought it for the gameplay. I think the gameplay it's such a fun game. It's so much fun to play. But when I started playing with you guys, it's like the fun just quantified to infinite. It's so much fucking fun playing with a group of people, like having like Robert shit talking in the background and everything. It's just so much fucking fun to play this game, and I like it because even you just like people get good so fast. Like I don't feel like I'm that superior. Like I actually rely on Juice for specific passes and shots now already. Like it's just so much fun to play. Like playing it by yourself was fun, but it's like Robert said, if you have a group of friends or 1 or 2 people already, it's a must buy. It's just so much fun to play.
Yeah, that's a good way to, that's a good way to say it, because if you were just playing by yourself, yeah, it's fun. But playing with a group and learning and working together and becoming a kind of a team where you can communicate, hey, I'll hang back, or hey, I'm going to center it, and then I come up and get a nice, one-timer shot, hockey term there, and it's just rewarding as hell. So, all right, T, let's get your take on it, and then I'll ask, kind of a general question about it once I get your take on Rocket League. And I can't remember if you had played it before.
No, I hadn't played it before. It's all right. Let's move on.
10 out of 10. Best response ever.
I'm kidding.
Give him his award.
I love this freaking game, man. I expected it to be fun. I had some inkling of getting it on PC at one point, just never got around to doing it. But I'm glad I waited, because it's definitely much more fun, I feel, with playing with friends and stuff. So, I mean, you guys already covered everything. I don't know what else I can say. I guess, what you were saying is true about the learning curve, because I was a little frustrated at first. I was like, I don't know if this game's going to be for me. And then, like Terrell said, it just clicks. 1 minute, it just clicks with you, and you understand the physics. You may not be as good yet. You may not be. I'm not good at the aerial stuff yet. Some of them, my timing is off, and that kind of
we're
stuff.
still all driving past the ball.
Yeah, we're still driving past the ball and completely missing it. But I think everybody does that, though. At least the people we play against. I see a lot of people doing that. Maybe not Featherly. But
welcome to the Feather League.
Most people, end up driving past it or completely missing the shot, and that kind of stuff happens. But it's you click and you get to a point where you feel really confident and good about it, and you can see the ball. Like I started being able to see the ball and anticipating a setup. Somebody setting me up for a shot, and it's a great feeling when it works out, man. It's a fun game, and I highly recommend it to people.
It's crazy too, because I felt like the first couple nights I was doing way better as like saving shots or stopping goals from happening to our team, and then the Friday and Saturday night I had less like amazing saves, but I had one with Retro, and I forget if Robert was in or Terrell were in at that time, but I was coming towards the goal, our goal. The ball was looking like it was going in, and I had just a little bit of an angle, but not much. So I just tried to at the last second, I bumped the ball just over enough to hit like the edge of the goal, and it bounced away. And it was like, it looked like a certain goal. It was, if I hadn't got there, it definitely would have been. I get as much exhilaration out of a save as almost more than a goal.
And you get rewarded for saves too. Like you get points.
You get good points. And I don't know that I could think of any other game where playing like defensive like that. I mean, I don't play a lot of sports games online, but where something like offensive, like offense, like, football offense and soccer offense, not offensive, like rude, you know what I mean? Like where like a defensive thing can get me more excited than getting, a goal or being on the offense. And that, to me, that was like, that's where it was like, took it to a whole nother level when I got that excited about saving a goal.
I think
crazy.
It's very true what you said. I think that's why the game in general, I think, feels so rewarding, because it's not just about the person who scores the goal wins. I mean, you get extra points for assisting people, for helping, for tactical shit, like centering the ball, and like you said, like saving it. And depending on how awesome your save is, you get more points. Like, it's very rewarding in general, even if you don't
stealing somebody else's shot that was clearly going in already, and you tap it at the last second to get the points for the goal.
That's like strategy shit.
But the question I wanted to ask, and I seen someone poke fun at some Nintendo fans. It wasn't mean spirited or anything, but how all of a sudden old games are great and exciting because now they're on a Nintendo system. You know, talking about Doom, Skyrim, Rocket League, and my first thought was just to like, you know, fuck you. But then when I thought about it, I was like, it is kind of true. I've always heard about Rocket League, and I always kind of considered it a possibility someday. But playing it on the Switch and having my Switch friends, you know, friends list, and being able to just play with you guys, have my favorite controller in my hand, which is the Pro Controller on the Switch, and it's like, it's, you know, I see where he's coming from because, yeah, I ignored the game for 2 years, and then now it's on Nintendo system. Now I'm raving about it. I know I'm late to the party. I kind of wish I had played it before, but it's also being able to play it on my favorite system. That's why it's exciting.
I'll apologize for that. Let's all apologize when I get in the game earlier. We were just being Nintendo fans, you know. But
I ain't apologize for shit.
What about on the Wii U if it had come out and been a good port?
Yeah.
But what do you know? Go ahead if anybody wants to give their thoughts on that idea. Is like whether it's Rocket League, Skyrim, Doom, or any of that. You know, there is something to that though.
What I'll say is that I already had Rocket League on PS4 again, quote unquote free, and then Skyrim on 360 twice and stuff like that. It's like I just like to play. I like to support stuff on Nintendo, you know, and to get more of that content on my Joy-Cons and to play it on the go. Like if this console was just like the Wii U, well, not even the Wii U, like because the Wii U still had the gamepad, and I would like to use the gamepad. So it's like the great thing about playing these games on a Nintendo console is you're guaranteed a different experience because the controller itself a lot of the time is different. And for me, I love those Joy-Cons. I love to play it separately. If I had a choice between what controller, I'd play with the split Joy-Cons. That's just what I like to do.
Is that how you play Skyrim?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I like that.
Because I've already played it with the traditional controller, so it's like if I'm gonna, you know, enjoy it on a new console, why not enjoy it in a new way?
Yep, exactly. That's why I like to play all these games with split Joy-Con. I relax. I put my hand in the air with one hand touching the ground. You know? But you know what I mean? Like it just, I like playing it differently, and you can, again, the huge thing is play it on the go. It's like I was playing, what's it called? You know, NBA 2K18 at work. That's a big reason to play it, is because I can play it at work when I couldn't do that with any other console. It's huge, and so for me, that's what it is.
I just want to make a point, because I feel like if people are gonna make that kind of jab, they realize remasters are pretty much within the same vein. It's like, oh well, you own the PS3 and the 360, so why is it that you aren't playing these games until the remasters come out? You know what? People got shit to do. People got lives and jobs, and sometimes they have prioritized certain games over others. You know, do I want to fucking play Mario Galaxy, or do I want to go play Sonic Unleashed? Some people don't want to play them. Some people ain't got time for both, and sometimes you miss out on the game. And because
Sonic
games are
straight.
And why play a game that why play that game when you know it's going to be on a system that you're not going to spend much time on? It's just like, to me, that's a big thing, because it's like, obviously Nintendo console is the console I'm spending most of my time on. I'm a little bit more careful when I buy games outside of that system, because it's like, how much am I actually going to boot up this Xbox? How much am I actually going to boot up this PlayStation? So I'm really scarce with my selections on those consoles for that. And then when you get a game that's from those consoles on your favorite console, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's just like, I'm going to be turning this console on and playing it more than anything else. So why not get the game that I want on the console I play on the most? It just doesn't.
It's just a convenience thing, because it's not like we were sitting there denouncing that the games weren't good.
Yeah, I never said.
I always thought Rocket League looked like a fun game.
I'm about to say, like, it's not like these games weren't interesting. I mean, in Doom's case, Juice had already played that on the PC. He had no reason
Yeah.
like to get the,
He was
the Switch version.
he had put a video out saying he wasn't gonna buy that shit.
Well, that's just because you can't trust Juice's opinion on shit. That's what that
So
is.
it's but shit changes your
Well, I
mind.
gotta interject one thing. I've played Doom a total of like 2 minutes in portable mode. Rocket League 30 seconds to show a guy at work.
Mhm.
Everything, it's been almost 100% in docked for me. So that, like the portable mode, the Joy-Cons, I haven't touched the Joy-Cons. Like, I put the grip back in the box, back in my Switch box, like for storage. I'm never going to use that grip again. I don't care about
It's pretty
the
sad.
portable side of the Switch really for certain games. Breath of the Wild, it really, helped because I was just so addicted. I just could not go without playing it. But so that factor doesn't even apply to me. Like the Switch is what I thought it was going to be for me. Right now, it finally got to that point, which I thought it was going to be before it came out. Like I'm gonna play this dock most of the time. I don't really care for handheld gaming and stuff, because it's just not the most comfortable way to play. And so even that being said, even without the portability part for me, I still am really enjoying Doom. I still love the multiplayer. I'm sucked right back into the story, the single player mode. I'm almost through hell, which is pretty far. It's more than halfway in the game, if I remember correctly from my first playthrough. Rocket League, just almost pretty much 100% of the time in dock mode and just loving every second of it. So I'm not even getting that portable, the benefit of that with these games, and I'm still really enjoying them and glad I bought them. But for other people, I guess the portable side is a bigger draw.
I do want to jump from what you're saying, just because it does bring up one other point. Just like people say about the 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One, some people get games just because their friends are on it.
Mhm.
Right.
And hey, look,
That's a huge thing. Yep.
if all your friends are
Destiny,
playing on
hello.
the Switch, of course, you're like, well, why not get it on the Switch then? Sometimes it's just that simple. Is it a shallow fucking reason to get a game? Not really, because because nowadays most games are built for online, to the point where you want to play with your friends. That's the reason why people like cross-platform, so they can still pick the console of their choice and still play with their friends.
Except
Sony,
Sony. Yeah.
But they don't let you play with friends on PC. It's just randoms. There's no friends lobby yet
you
for
can't really. Yeah.
there's not any friends lobby for
not for cross-platform. It's
Really?
only your Switch friends.
Yeah, only for Switch friends.
And Xbox guys, it's only for you can play against PC guys, but you can't play against PC.
Yeah, it's not like hey, that guy.
at least,
that guy
okay,
is
I guess
doing-
I'll put it, at least we're putting in the first steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to one day being united.
But I'm glad you brought
It was
that.
weird with that.
Under one monolithic game company. Yay.
Oh,
Hold on,
God.
man. Just at least one.
Monopoly.
I just want to be friends with everyone, man.
All right, chill out.
And
Trey,
I
we
made
miss you, big
friends
dick.
through playing Rocket League. I added 3 people, and you guys know how I am about adding people on Switch. And
You
We also know how you are about removing people.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't played in 22 hours. Oh, you're gone.
the main reason I have people on the friends list is to play with them online in games. So if I haven't ever played with somebody I added and I don't remember who they are, because one of the bad things I think about the Switch is your online is just whatever your profile name is for your your user, and it's not tied to a Nintendo Network ID. So it's just like, oh, who's this Dave or who's Joe? Like, I don't know who this person is anymore because there's no reference to who they are and to their. That's why I was like, I made a Juice Opinions, like, please, like, if you're gonna create a profile on your Switch and you have a profile on Twitter under a certain name, try to use that name so you can, so people can associate you with that name when they're playing online. Because I get, there's people always in this live chat. Tony Cran, for instance, I don't think I've ever played a game with him online. Maybe on Wii U, but definitely not on Switch. Or if I did, maybe his name's not Tony on the Switch. That's the one thing I kind of wish people would do, kind of have a the same kind of
on YouTube or Facebook,
Mhm.
whatever.
Because I was gonna
Set
say,
on your gaming, man.
I fucking hate people that have different usernames like on YouTube and Twitter. I'm looking at you, sidekick, you fucking asshole. Like, it makes no sense.
Ouch.
Like this dude on Twitter starts fucking insulting me over Metroid Prime Echoes. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
I will come to your house. Oh, wait a minute, it's Sidekick. Oh, my bad. I almost killed you, man.
But and like Terrell was saying, like your friends have it. That's gonna make it more enticing. You almost bought Doom. Like you were almost enticed by it because we were playing it and we were talking about how awesome it is. You know, and you almost picked it up. Like you were tempted because we were having fun playing online.
And you
And-
were
Wait,
To be
Tony
fair, I probably
Curran,
was
hold
not-
on.
Listen,
Tony
if
Curran
it-
is T-Dude? I didn't know
Yeah, I
that
didn't
this
know
whole
that
time. What?
and just to be fair, if I see that Doom gets patched just to fix some of the issues with it, then
What
I'm more likely some of the audio
I
issues.
didn't even notice it the last time I played. Like
I've
didn't fix
gotten
it, but-
anal about it, especially when the game's like $15 on
You like-
Steam. It's like
Oh, jeez.
boy.
What? You say anal.
You went from 0 to 60, my friend. What was that?
Oh Lord.
That was not, no. There was no connection there. Stop.
All right, we're done here. Just move on. I'm fine.
Yikes. You totally
funny
killed it,
that,
man.
I know.
To
Rob.
get
It's
back
fine,
into that
it's fine.
discussion, it's funny that because Terrell just mentioned the cross-platform, because I had this whole fucking Rocket League story prepared to tell right now. I was like, yeah, I wanted to get it, you know, I knew I wanted to get Rocket League, but I'm gonna wait a bit. I'm not gonna get it at launch. And I was like, oh, but you guys are here, so I might get it because then I have you guys on the Switch. But the thing is, fucking cross-platform. So I'm not even gonna lie to myself. I just bought it again because it's on the Switch, and I like that better.
Yeah, and it's
At least he's honest. I appreciate that.
That's,
All right.
I mean, that's nothing to
Sometimes we're just fucking garbage. Just recognize that. We're humans. We're infallible. Sometimes we do shit that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why do you
I
think
think
they're
that
experts?
makes a lot of sense, though. I think that's a fair thing to do. I don't know.
I mean,
It's
this
not crazy.
Pro controller, the Switch Pro controller, is the greatest controller ever made. I cannot imagine having a different controller. Like before this, the GameCube controller was my favorite controller. And now when I pick up the GameCube controller again, it almost feels like trash compared to how good this one is.
Damn.
I was in
What
love with the
about the
Xbox
Wii
One
U Pro
controller.
controller? I feel like they're so similar.
Yeah, I don't
Wii
like
U-
that one too much.
Wii U Pro controller doesn't feel as good. I mean, I think it's more comfortable. It's because it's wider and it's more comfortable for my
I actually
hands.
think
It
it's less
tries too hard to be an Xbox controller, the Wii U Pro
It's
controller.
it's too curvy now. I gotta go back to it. And it's just like I remember this being more comfortable, and it's
It
just
also
not as
just
comfortable
seems
anymore.
Smaller in comparison. That's the other
Yeah.
thing that trips me out.
And it's plasticky as hell.
Yeah, I know, fucking made from kids. Got fingerprints and everything on that bitch. I'm done with it.
Yeah, I'm typing in the chat because I'm finding all these people
I see.
having all these different names. Oh, I'm
Wait, so
Because
Psychic
everything
here,
people do is
Umos? Oh,
connected
come
to their
on.
YouTube. To be fair,
so how like just pick a name and put that for YouTube, your Twitter, and your
confused.
Switch. Like
but maybe
seriously,
they don't want to do all that shit.
But it makes your life simpler.
you can change your Twitter name at any time.
Yeah, you can change that. Easy.
I'm trying to look at just telling people to do what they want, make them do some shit.
I'm just saying, like, because people are always like, "Oh, I want to add me on the Switch," and I'm like,
I don't
I
know.
go to
you.
add somebody, and it's like some generic name, and I'm like, who the hell is this?
John Smith. Come on, man.
It's like,
What's up, John?
You don't know John Smith?
but
Let
if
me
I
go get
knew,
the tea, goddammit.
if I knew like
Full of shit.
like T273, I knew that from all the times on the Wii U, but I didn't know that was
Find him
Tony.
on Wii U or
I didn't know that was Tony until just now. So it's
your
like,
Uber Splatter 79. What the hell happened to John Smith? Uber Splatter 79. What the hell?
it just makes it easier to like associate. Hey, that's the guy. That's so and so from the chat on Twitter. I don't have to figure out who. Well, is this the same person or is this a different person? Then on the Switch, it just makes it easier for
You know how
everyone.
you can find
I love
on
Jack
YouTube,
Gates.
I'm Mr. T. On Xbox
Yeah.
One, I'm Mr. T. On PlayStation 4, I'm Mr. T.
Bruh, I want this to be said real quick. I love Jack Gates' comment where he's like, "My name is Jack Gates. My on Twitter name is Jack Jam Jim, but don't follow me."
You got it locked.
Yeah, well, Twitter's weird because it has your @ name and then it has your
Yeah.
profile name.
Because you're
Mine
not really changing your
both
your
mine are the
ad
same.
name.
At Terminator Juice and
Yeah.
Terminator Juice, but I see Pamela Horton's always changing hers. It was like Zombie Horton
I feel
or
like he's just
something
gonna break this girl up as much as he can. It's-
Bro, it's
on,
kinda
on
weird.
Twitter, and so I know
Found
you
a way
can
to work
change
her
it.
into the show.
I know he's
I haven't
fucking
talked
wait.
about her. She's kind of faded, but
No, it has no. She hasn't.
she
She's
has.
kind of faded.
You're following her on Twitter. You mean she's faded?
She posts a lot, at least.
Faded down your pants, I guess.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
But
After I just got on him about the anal, now you're gonna go
No,
fade
no.
down the pants.
these children.
Children.
Was there? Oh, Farm Simulator.
Oh,
came out.
children.
Yeah, man.
You play it?
Farm Simulator is love. Farm Simulator is life, son.
I'm waiting for him to put on the farmer's hat and some
It is,
overalls.
well, Sean Long already beat me to that.
You can still do it.
GTA 85. But it reminded me why I liked the game in the first place. I haven't played it in like 12, 13 years probably. I recently played it on first Xbox and Xbox original OG, whatever you call it. And I remember why I like it. I just like that whole SimCity-ish micromanaging kind of thing. And you can get as deep into it as you want. You can control all the machines, and you can drive your goods to to sell them, and you can
These are gameplay mechanics.
get on the stock market, and it's crazy. Like you can do all that, or you can just automate people to work for you, and they can take care of that. You can just do what you want to do, and it's a fun. You jump in for an hour and jump out. Like you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time in it, but you always have fun doing it. And all the machines, it's cool if you want to use them. They all feel different, and it took me a while to get reused to using those things. Some of them are new stuff, but it's really some of the controls is like really strange to make to work the machines and stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to tell you go out and buy Farming Simulator. It is definitely a game that you have to be looking for. It's not for everybody at all. I think they sold since its inception about 8 million copies worldwide. So, and it's like I said, Farming Simulator has been around for a while, and that's not a lot, but that's enough, obviously, for them to keep making these things. So
It didn't look like some of the vehicles actually look pretty.
yeah, the vehicles all look really good. They're really snazzy, which makes sense because they're all licensed and stuff. So the companies always want you to make sure they're the cleanest and nicest and glossiest with that stuff. So, but the environments
what are you doing in Farming Simulator?
You're farming. It's a farming simulator. I mean, what?
Why in the fuck? Why would you even have to ask?
No, can you have animals?
Yeah, you take care of animals. Like I said, you could.
Robert,
How
do
do you
not ask.
farm?
Listening, man?
Don't ask the next question, Robert. I know where your mind's at right now.
Oh,
What?
no. He's gonna
First
say
he had-
something.
First
He's
thing
a
he
pig
asked was
fucker. I know what's going on.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I was not thinking that.
You were. Oh my God! Help
Well,
us.
actually, no. That can you breed the animals? Like, can the animals breed?
Yeah, you're fucking trash.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't
Well, I
see
mean,
that
that's
stuff.
farming. Do you have to kill the animals too? That's sad, man.
Yo, someone cut this shit off.
You're not sitting there in the slaughterhouse watching the blood and gore fly everywhere. It doesn't work like that.
It's
Why
so
not?
stupid anyway, Robert. You're playing fucking Animal Crossing. You know how many fish you already killed and shit?
Right.
Listen, I don't. Yeah, but the fish are fine. You kill them quick.
What?
You catch them.
Wow.
What?
Anyway,
Stop.
Yeah, let's move on.
was there any other games that came out on the Switch? Did we forget something?
There's one coming out tomorrow. Oh yeah. What's the shooter? I haven't played that.
Drive. Did
Drive.
Drive come out?
Yeah,
Coming out
it's
on
out.
Friday.
I don't think anyone picked it up. I didn't
I
see
haven't
anybody
bought it
play
yet. I will.
I was gonna ask you, are you gonna get that
No,
motorsports game that comes out tomorrow?
Nah.
I might.
Unless they did something to fix it, because it got just absolutely atrocious reviews for its controls and stuff.
What about Gear Club Unlimited, the not Project
no.
Car? So it has
the $40, $50 mobile
Oh, it's
game?
$45 now, which is the weirdest price of all time, by the way.
No, it's not. It needs to be like 42.69. That's
It doesn't
weird.
make any sense. I've never seen a game debut at like 45.
Oh, I thought you was like 5. I was like, what? Well, damn.
35
Yeah.
for like a 3DS game, maybe, and 15. Obviously, we've seen that for indie games, but 45. What is that? Why not just make it 40? I mean, come on.
Just asking too much.
And it's just crazy. Like, I'm so happy with my current lineup of games. Like, I don't need Xenoblade Chronicles 2 until about February.
Dude, but Gear Club, man, we can all play that online as well. Oh wait, no, you can't. It's just time trials.
Really?
Wow.
God.
Bullshit. Yeah, there's no online multiplayer.
$45, they
in
took
a
a bowl
racing
game.
Yeah,
Wow.
We just
And
can't catch a fucking break, is what I'm hearing.
total fail.
And it looks like the drive mechanics are very arcade-ish. It looks like without
be a
effort,
racing
you
Well, it's from a
stay,
mobile. It's from a
without
mobile
effort,
game.
you stay right on the track, and if you do hit like a guardrail, it doesn't even slow you down. That's what I was watching gameplay, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, but you can't play that online. They're charging $45 freaking dollars. Well, it's only $45, guys. It's worth
it
it.
would have been such a win at 30. Like it would have been a win. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy
Sounds
that.
more like a $20 game to me, but what I've
Well, I
seen.
mean,
That's because it is.
I don't know about 20. I would probably pay
I don't know. I'm playing
25.
a pretty good $20 game right
25.
now.
Yeah, 25. That's what they like to five.
20, 25, 26, 2.
Anybody got to pick up
Two.
Revelations 1 and 2?
No, I'm good.
I'm
Fuck
fine.
But they added gyro.
Oh my
aiming.
god.
You know that
Sit down, T. You're drunk.
they had
Not yet.
isn't the gyro aiming only added to 2 and not even in the first?
No, it's in both.
Is it?
Yeah.
The second one looks terrible. I have to say that game looks.
Well, it's because why do you think there's not a third one?
And you have to download like
It's
doesn't
not like
matter.
a Capcom on the make.
You have to download that game,
Sequels.
and it's like, what is it, like 13 plus?
You said
gigs?
you were only getting the first one,
13.
right?
What's 13? No, the other one's 22 or something, right?
Yeah, it's like 22.
Revelations 2 is 20 something
Revelations
gigs.
2 was like 22 gigs.
And
Actually,
yeah,
you know what? It's on the eShop. Let's go check the eShop real quick.
Yeah, it's a freaking up-res 3DS game, and it's 22 gigs. Get the fuck out of there.
well, that
Yeah, I
one
mean-
wasn't even on 3DS. 2
I know, but I'm
wasn't.
saying they used the 3DS assets. They still used they used the assets from
It
Revelations
looked
1,
like
which is
actually to
basically
me, it looked like a completely.
Oh no,
different-
because that one was PS4 and Xbox One exclusive originally.
Yeah, I thought they should have stuck
yeah, it
with
was
the
only PS4 and
Revelations.
Xbox One. Yeah,
It looked like they went with like Resident Evil 4 game engine or something.
Let's see.
Not 4, but like 6
Uh,
with Revelations
oh
2.
god,
Revelations 1 is only 12. It's 12 gigs.
yeah, it's sure that one's 12.
Let's
and
go
then
look at Revelations 2.
2 was like 22 gigs. I'm sure
Yeah, it's 23.
23.
Oh, look at that.
What's
What?
Gear Club?
Oh, what's
Gear
Gear
Club's
Club?
trash
I'll
is what it
predict
is.
2 gigs. 2
All right,
gigs.
let's see. It
With all those
is
cars.
No, it's at least 7
five.
gigs.
Nope, 5.4.
Okay, I was guessing that because I think it's around that on your phone.
I bet you
Mobile?
Rive's
Yeah.
probably under a gig.
Let's see. It's also 1275. What? That's a
Yeah,
weird.
Rive is like 800 megabytes or something.
Yeah,
silly.
it's 800 megabytes.
Yeah.
T, stop being a
How much is
Adonis.
it?
Bro, I look at all that stuff when I
Is
go
that
into
15,
each
20?
Say what?
How much is Rive?
$12, $12.95,
1275.
75. Excuse me,
Nice.
That's a weird price.
$12.75. What is that?
That's
Another
a weird
weird
ass price.
Yeah.
Why? That's not even on sale or anything. That's actually
No, that's just the regular price.
It's the ultimate
$12.75
edition. That's
makes no
1270.
sense.
I'm fucking confused.
Yeah, I'm getting it. In
Of
a few
course you
minutes. Gotta go get it.
And for those who care, NBA is also on sale on Switch.
Oh, Juice's favorite game is coming out tomorrow too. It's gonna be in there. It'll
Runbow?
be on my bill. No, I'm not joking this time. It's Axiom Verge.
Oh, the physical.
Yeah,
I
We can still
canceled
get
I canceled my pre-order because
mine's already on its way. It'll be here tomorrow.
Nice.
it was attached to a card that was going to
It's the
expire.
special edition one. That's the one I'm getting.
Yeah, that's all you can get physical. There's no other version.
Oh, okay, they're on the regular version.
Wow.
I really want to support it, but I'm just like I
No, you
don't
don't.
need that game physical with all these other games I have. If I rebuy, I'm gonna get it digital again.
Yeah, sidekick Cooper. It's one thing to like mispronounce Mizzo as if you're talking to me, but if you see my name like on the page,
Mr. T.
people do that all the time. It drives
Hi,
me insane.
Mr. T. I love your show.
You somebody will reply to me and like completely botch it. I'm like, dude, you're replying to my name. It's right there. All you have to do is scroll across it and copy.
But you are
No
going to
one
be a
uses
teacher, aren't
Z's
you?
anymore. T.
Is
It's
that?
your fault.
Missa is a real name. What's
Aren't you
that?
gonna be a
I
teacher?
said no one has Z's in their name anymore. It's just unheard of.
Oh yeah. Well,
You could be mixed.
What were you saying, Juice?
I was saying, aren't you going to be a teacher, or aren't you like a substitute teacher
Why you
sometime?
putting this
I
man's
don't want everybody
information
to know
out
my
here?
business.
Yeah, why you gonna play with this man's information?
Because somebody said he looks like a teacher to me. I don't know why he thought that.
You've never seen him.
He might look like a teacher.
Yeah, I'm confused.
How does he know what he looks like?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what?
That's true. Wait a minute. Dun, dun.
He's talking about my
Your avatar.
my
picture?
avatar looks like a teacher.
That don't look like no teacher.
I pity the fool who knows this teacher.
But
Shoot.
it is. It's been so far.
Weird.
You know, we're kind of after Rhyme. I think was the only debacle so far with these. Really, for these third-party games on the Switch.
No, FIFA is too because it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean that would be the second one, but I would say Rhyme is the first one that's like just poorly, doesn't run well, and it seems like it took forever to come out. You know, it was what kind of happened on the Wii U, whatever the reason, it kind of was. It's a gimped game for sure. And other than that, so I was a little skeptical about some of these other games, but everyone's just like raving about Skyrim, especially in portable mode. We got Rocket League's very competent, and so what's the other? LA Noire looks. I mean, it doesn't look that different. I just watched a comparison video a little bit ago. It doesn't really look that different than the PS3 version, but whatever. It runs. You know, they didn't try to do too much. Even the Xbox One PS4 version, which mostly had these 4K textures, looked pretty damn similar. So, but we haven't had that slew of bad running games, and I think that's the difference right now versus the Wii U, which the Wii U had a lot more third-party games in the first year. Let's not forget that. People seem to act like the Wii U didn't have third-party games at all, and it had a ton of them in that first year. But so far, so good with the Switch, with the third-party games. Nintendo basically gave them November. Here you go. Here's your month. You know, release your games, and we'll see how it all works out. And if it continues, there was a new game got announced today, which I didn't know was a series I'd never even heard of.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You're talking about Valkyria Chronicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
What I've seen of it, I don't know why people are getting excited.
Because it's a tactical RPG.
Is it?
And it's from Sega. That isn't a Sonic game, so that's always great.
Okay.
It's like Mario
Yeah, but
Rabbids,
Sega
right?
isn't that
You
great.
you said a bunch of bad things in my opinion. RPG, tactical, Sega,
What? It plays like Fire Emblem.
Sega.
Isn't it more like Mario and Rabbids?
No, it's more like
No, it's more like-
Codename Steam.
Yeah, it's more like
Yeah, that's the same thing.
No,
no.
Those games, Mario and Rabbids and Codename Steam, is basically the same concept.
Yeah,
No,
so they are pretty.
no, Mario Rabbids play
yeah, they
more like
totally
XCOM.
are actually. I
have
think
some
Yeah,
so.
Mario Rabbids is more like XCOM,
Yeah.
those are not the
That's
same
also
gameplay
sick.
style.
but that's also like Codename Steam.
It's super
Sounds like
damn
Advance
similar.
Wars.
Okay, we need to stop. We're just being fucking stupid. Anyways, it's good news because people thought that franchise was dead because for one, it's Sega. So usually if it's not
It's not
Sonic,
going to be on Xbox this time.
no, it is.
In Japan.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Nope.
Really?
Why? They only
I'm
have like 2 Xboxes out there.
because people listen because we keep making mistakes. It's 2017, so I thought I just figured.
They're starting to learn. I think they're still wasting their time with the American version, but hey,
Yeah, but
it's easy. It's easy port. So
it's easy port, so why the fuck not? I'm surprised that game apparently is like 90% done. I've already seen reports and shit. It
Yeah.
comes out like in the spring. I'm very curious because I tried playing it on PC. I tried playing one of the older games on PC. It's weird. It's like it's literally like a 3D active. It reminds me a lot of Codename Steam. If you've played any of Codename Steam, it's very similar to that. Which
I feel like I have one on PSP.
there is one on PSP.
Okay, yeah.
Because people were saying when Codename Steam came out, oh, this is just Valkyria Chronicles, just simpler. And I was like, what the fuck is Valkyria Chronicles? And that's how I found out about it. But I am pretty. I'll probably get that on Switch, depending on how it looks. And it looks like it should be fine. I might get that on Switch.
Yeah, I was watching some gameplay and I was like, is that the 360 version OJ showing, or is that the new
360?
version?
It's probably showing like the. Well, I don't know if
I
you
think
can
it's
play
PS4, right? I
Does
think
he?
you got it on PS4. No,
What's the PS4 game? I
It
didn't
don't
think they
come out
released
till
one.
March.
no, that's not right because it's a
The last game was on PS3.
PS Vita, right? It's PS3 and PS Vita.
Yeah, I
it
think
must
he
be
was
the
showing
PS3.
PS Vita footage or something. Because
Why the fuck? Who owns a Vita? That
Might be the see. There you go. There you go.
but
I just see a Sony fan in the background. Fuck you! My console's selling better
That was
than
it.
yours.
That was the reason that he was really on. At least OJ was really on. Why isn't this game coming to Switch? Because it's on Vita. Like, and Vita the Vita sales have been going down per game or something, and it was
I hate the fact that that's a comparison now. It's like, oh, it's on the Vita, and I'm like,
no, I think they were just saying that like if you can put it on Vita, you should damn sure put it on Switch.
oh no, I get it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's the saltiness because I know what people be. It's that side disc. It's just another handheld, and you're like, bitch, you better cut that shit out.
Yeah, it's that simple.
But yeah, it'd be something nice
Why
to
didn't the
hold us
Vita
over.
do better than if it was just that's all it is?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This just in though, Nintendo just published a Gear Club Unlimited launch trailer on their official YouTube channel, and
That was earlier today.
the
Yeah, that was
first
like
45 seconds are basically look at these car models in your garage.
I know. I was so mad about it. I'm like, all right, finally, maybe this time we'll actually get to see what the game looks like when it's running and you're racing.
And
You
you
get
thought
about
wrong.
5 to 7 seconds of actual racing on the
Mhm.
track, and everything else is like in the garage shots. I'm like, really? Really,
mean-
Nintendo? I can see why they would do it, but why are you doing it?
You don't have a garage of that size in Forza and stuff. You gotta have one selling point.
And I'm wondering how
Wow,
much of
that's
this
a really
footage-
Because
depressing
the
selling
environments
point.
don't look that great, obviously, and then like the garage looks a lot better, like the models and stuff, and the
Oh yeah,
vehicles
just
in the garage look so much better. So they show that more than they show the cars actually on the road and those
because
you know,
I really can
PS2
push.
model backgrounds.
It looks- I mean, the car models looked really nice, but
Yeah.
who had IGN or somebody had gameplay a while back? Yeah, here it is. I'll link it. And actually playing the game, like I said, the mechanics of driving just look so.
Yeah, you can look past all the other stuff if the game drives and is fun and had online multiplayer, which is the no-brainer. If you're gonna make this thing, what is it called? It's called Gear Club Unlimited. It's not. You're limiting it by not putting an online mode on there, and by all the other silly stuff. So it's just,
And it might. Who knows? It might end up being a decent racing game, but
but the price is wrong. I'm
it's
stuck
too
at the
expensive.
price.
Yeah, the IGN's footage is portable mode off-screen footage, so it's hard to.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably worth more than Sonic Forces.
No, it's not. I'm saying right now.
Nah, I think it will be. Fuck yeah, it will be.
Well, that's because listen, you have an inherent hatred. I don't trust anything you say, Robert.
If this game
I
had,
don't- if someone likes Forces, I don't think I trust them.
Wow, you are a piece of shit.
Senran Kagura.
It's Sonic Forces Civil War, man.
Where did that come from, T?
Somebody put it in the post or in the
I mean,
chat.
I'm
Oh
looking
yeah,
at this gameplay.
because the massage game comes out this Thursday.
Does it?
No, really?
The
It's
what?
only in
What?
Japan.
Wait, what massage?
First would know that.
DXT,
I might have to
great
make a
time.
fucking Japanese account because I don't give a fuck.
Wait, what? What?
Don't worry about it. No, don't
Don't
worry
worry
about
about
it,
it.
Robert. You're too young. You're too young.
I'm too young.
Yeah, you're too
The
young.
massages? I want
No,
to.
listen, you have a lot in your heart right now.
I'm too young for massages.
Ariana give you a massage if you're not.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
What are you putting this
This
man
dude just putting
personal
everybody
information
business in the damn thing tonight. Ah, dang. You want to put my address out there too? God dang.
on? What the fuck?
No one
You
knows.
always talking about T's job ambitions and shit.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a secret that
A little
he
side job. You know what I
occasionally
mean?
was a sub teacher. Occasionally, I didn't know that.
Hey,
was a
chill
big
out, man.
secret.
What you doing?
Wow.
How could you?
Okay.
I didn't see. Anyway, I don't see how that's too bad of a thing. But anyway, sorry if you didn't want that known. My apologies. Silence.
What the hell was that? We were being
I'm a
quiet.
very
You were
unsecretive
talking.
guy, you know. I put it all out there.
hmm Yeah. Anyway, let's just do final thoughts. It's been 2 hours. I think we've exhausted the third party conversation.
Oh, my heart.
And
Retro Death put my phone number in the chat.
Oh,
nice
oh
one.
my god.
That's good
All
stuff.
right. Let's start with Retro Death since put post that funny thing in the chat. So why don't you give your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just keep it short a bit. A great podcast. I love talking about Rocket League and all this shit. It was so much fun. I just quickly wanted to elaborate. So I'm going to pull a T here. I just uploaded a video on my channel yesterday just to elaborate on the Sonic Forces price point discussion we had last week. If people were still interested, in my opinion, because last week on the podcast that shit came out of nowhere and I didn't even know what to say, just how stupid it was. So I just uploaded that video. Go check it out.
Yeah, I watched it earlier. It definitely. You didn't just. I thought it was just going to be all on Sonic Forces, but you really barely even mentioned Sonic Forces. So it was just
it was like a starting point for it more.
General point on game prices and how, if that like we talked last week, just because it's $20 cheaper doesn't excuse it from being a bad game. And so yeah, it was a good video. Go check that out. That's all you want to say?
Yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching.
Okay, Robert.
So a lot of things in this podcast.
It's like he's at the goddamn podium. Children.
But it was good. It's been a fun time, and we keep going. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and Friday's gonna be pretty soon. Friday's gonna be good.
I'm fucking done with this.
I swear, if this weekend isn't good, that sucks.
Forgot about Thanksgiving there.
Just stop it.
Oh, I'm thankful.
Were you the guy that didn't even know when No, that was a kid I worked with. He didn't know when Thanksgiving was. He only knew because...
I don't know. No, I didn't know when Thanksgiving was. I mean, now I know. But I was like, is it this Friday or like Wednesday? And feel like it's every Thursday. It's all Thursday.
Yeah,
like, why?
The Native Americans.
But that literally means there's no true Thanksgiving because it's just random ass Thursday.
Which is okay because what really happened, they just slaughtered the Indians. Took their land. Thank you. Thanks for giving your land.
Have a good week, everybody.
What it is 4 days off in a row is what it is.
Apparently. Yeah. But I always have 4 days off in a row.
Well, good for you, Robert. We don't have that luxury.
Actually, it's 5 days off with the children's because most people are in school.
Okay. It's okay because like.
So Robert, what day is after Tuesday?
Can we stop?
Just
Wednesday and maybe one day I'll have a wedding on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a rhetorical question.
Oh, I'll imagine you just get married on a Wednesday, like wedding Wednesday. All right, Coco's tomorrow. Go see Coco.
What the fuck?
The Pixar movie, new Pixar.
I thought he was talking about chocolate.
No. Coco. And hopefully Coco will be good. And I don't want to die because then you're gonna have to be like Coco.
All right, Robert's taking something. Or he's off his meds, one or the other.
Have a good night, people, and it's been a good day.
Who wants to follow that up?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Since I was already outed by the CIA agent Terminated Juice, let me at least give you the proper information. No misinformation, so you know exactly what's the deal is. I started part-time substituting, elementary, my kid's school, and I really started enjoying it. I was like, oh, maybe this is what I should be doing. And so I went. I decided that maybe I should do it more because I really like English and that's my subject. So I think about teaching English for middle school. And so I decided to take the exam. I didn't really study for it, and I ended up getting a 220. I needed a 240. So I wanted to go back and retake it. And this is stuff I wanted to share on my channel, but since I got outed, I wanted to tie into my channel and what where I wanted to go going forward. And that's one of the reasons I don't reveal myself on my channel is that it's not about I don't want people to know who I am and I'm scared. It's that I don't want my real life stuff to affect how I do my channel and what I can say and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I've mostly stayed off camera.
Because you were thinking about.
Yeah, I've said it for. I told you guys like a year ago I was gonna go on pretty soon.
Over a year,
and stuff happens. It's just like, oh, I'm more worried about like my channel being affected than my. I'm not worried about losing a job or any of that kind of silly stuff. It's just that I'm worried about being able to be as free as I want to be on my channel, and I'm worried about being able to do that going forward.
For whatever it's worth, from knowing you for the last couple of years, I think you'd make a great teacher.
Thank you, man.
I want you to be my teacher. That'd be great.
I think you need to teach him some English.
He always do this. He makes everything a weird situation.
You need to teach Robert some proper English because he's been struggling.
He's also talking about death and shit, and talking about he don't want to die. He might be a little suicidal, folks. We might need to get him help.
Well, you know what? It's because
what's that Logic song? We need to get that helpline on there.
I just want to die today. I just want to die.
I hate that song.
Hey, chill out. Don't do that.
What, dude? It's so good.
It's just like everybody knows I do freelance video editing. I have my own biz, but it's like it's really nerve-wracking. It's really stressful. It's a really stressful thing to do, to be able to do that, to have to do that and be on it, constantly. And so I'm just thinking about making a change, so that's why I've kind of held off on like revealing myself. But I think I'm going to do it pretty soon. So
yeah, because teachers can have a big impact, positive impact on young kids. And I still remember my best teachers, and the rest of the teachers, I can't remember like 90% of my teachers, because I only remember the ones that had an impact on positive impact and were really good. And
yeah, and that's same thing for me. Was my middle school English teacher, so it's kind of like me coming full circle. That was the thing that,
we get to hear you being a dad/teacher. Every time we have a game night, and
right,
the kids are always up on your lap
or on the podcast.
Yeah, they're always hovering. So. Blow kiss. It's good night time, so we gotta say good night. All good night. Love you. Nah, not you guys, my kids. But I do love you guys too.
Look, that just got weird. Just stop.
Now we gotta have a virtual hug.
Hey, chill out.
Don't be all ashamed of being affectionate.
Okay, I'm drunk. I'm dead.
I'm always about being affectionate, man.
Please stop. What has happened?
Jack, what you talking about?
Cut off the fucking live stream.
I know, we're still on. We're still live.
This is weird. Cy Cooper said that. I'm like, after all this time, it was like, oh, am I going to ruin the mystique, the mystery of? So I worry about that stuff too. It's silly to some people. It's like I've been doing so long, but for my channel to grow, that's one of the things I want. That's one of the reasons I want to come on camera, because I think my channel is kind of stagnant because I'm not as personable as a lot of YouTubers, and so that's why I want to change that. So
the thing is, even that you technically dropped the Mr. D character a long time ago.
I did.
I've never done that since like almost over a year.
A little bit.
I still puppet the Mr. T puppet or whatever, but it's I feel like I'm a funny dude. Like I could be really personable on camera, so. You guys don't really get to see that, so
yeah. Then
you guys get to hear it, when we do, whatever. But
we could see your fresh haircuts every time,
right?
Yeah.
My fresh mohawk.
Can we just?
All right, Terrell, why don't you give your final thoughts?
Hello, everybody. I'm a fucking otaku weeaboo, and I have problems. But everything's fine now because we just had a talk and it was great. Today was a good day. For those who are curious about the PS4 game I bought, it was a Wii game. It was Knights of Azura 2 that was actually coming out on the Switch.
Nice.
I figured I should play it on the PlayStation 4 because it's not like I'm using it for anything else right now.
But it's like another with a lot of waifus.
Yeah, I'll send pictures.
Is there any 4K enhancements on the Pro version?
No.
4K physics,
but it's in 60 frames and it doesn't fucking dip like it does in the Switch version.
Only them titties dip.
Any improved physics?
Oh wait,
that was funny.
All right, Robert. Oh, by the way, I think real quick for those who are still in the fucking watching this, okay, do me a favor, tweet the rest of the Juice Zeus crew in this. and hashtag Robert is a piece of shit. Just do that for me real quick. It could be just Robert shit or Robert in a shit emoji. I don't care. I don't really care.
Yeah, usually it's Retro Death taking shots at your weeaboo.
Oh no, well, Retro Death can't because he enjoys some of the same content.
Yeah, I do.
So it's not like I can respect that, man. Robert's just a piece of shit. That's the
Damn.
I could admire.
No, you can't.
Love and live and
No, you can't.
I admire Pyra.
Anyways, fucking Xenoblade in less than 2 weeks. I'm fucking excited. A lot of good games on Switch that you guys can be playing. Good podcast. Remember, hashtag Robert is shit. That's a thing I want to see on Twitter, folks.
Not Robert is the shit, but Robert.
No, hell
is
no.
shit.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
shit.
Either that or Juice is a traitor hashtag. It doesn't matter. Anyways, life's a game. Play to win. Yeah.
All right. All I'm gonna say is one quick little story. Had family came over for a little bit on Saturday. My nephew, he's like 8 or 9, and he hadn't been over in a couple years. So I was like, "Hey, want to come downstairs? I'll show you my my amiibos and stuff." And this kid, his dad all he plays is Call of Duty. The kid's been playing Call of Duty since he's like 6, and I've always disagreed with that. But I don't tell somebody how to be parents to their own kid. This kid could have cared less about any of the Nintendo characters, any of the amiibos, and he didn't know who Mario was, though. He didn't know who anybody else was. So that's the power of Mario. He knew who Mario was, but no one else.
Not in Pikachu?
He couldn't have been any less interested. And I'm just like, it just bugs me, as not just as a Nintendo fan, but the fact that you're letting your young kid play Call of Duty anyway bugs me. But even with all that, he still who knew Mario was, so that's something.
I think a while ago there was this thing where it said Mario's even more recognized than the fucking McDonald's clone dude and shit.
And Mickey
That's not
Mouse.
surprising, yeah.
So that's, I mean, it's something he's probably never played a Mario game in his life, but he knew who he was. So, but anyway, saw Justice League on Thursday night. I enjoyed it, and I know I did my juice opinions talking about a lot of movies getting trashed that I've been enjoying this year. And again, I just want to reiterate, nothing good comes from going to Rotten Tomatoes, going to Metacritic, and looking at a review totals, a percentage of people that liked it or didn't like it. Like, there's no good that comes from that. When I've found I haven't looked up a Metacritic score other than I think someone pointed out like Mario Odyssey when it came out, but I just play games, watch movies. I don't even pay attention to that stuff, and it's actually greatly improved my overall experience, especially with movies. And I don't know, just do what you want, but my advice is just if you can get over that habit of going to Rotten Tomatoes on like Friday just before going to see a movie, it only hurts the movie enjoyment experience for me, like especially if you don't go because it's like, oh, look at that score, 30%. I've done that in the past, and then I watch it on Blu-ray and it's like, this movie's amazing, get on Amazon and I buy it immediately. Like, I wish I had supported the movie in the theater type of thing. So I don't know, it's just Grandpa Juice telling you what to do again. Just give up Rotten Tomatoes if you're a movie fan, if you're a film fan. I don't know. I don't have a percentage, but it's greatly increased my enjoyment of movies in the past year plus, basically. And it just goes to show, like, the mob mentality can kind of, like, just like with T, you had to talk me into watching Man of Steel again. Remember how much I was?
Yeah, you were just.
I said all that same shit that everybody said, based on, the mob and what people
I've
thought.
done that too. Like, I think pretty much everybody is guilty of that to some degree, whether it be movies or gaming or something.
You were just like, no, that's not true. Watch it again. It's not true. So I watched it again. I'm like, wow, like I was wrong. Like, this movie's really good, you
misremember it because of all the flack, people.
Yeah, I was convinced he didn't save anybody but Lois in the whole movie in Man of Steel. And it was just, that's not true. So I don't know. It was just some advice, take it or leave it. But I have really enjoyed a lot of movies this past year that most critics didn't think was very good. So maybe it's lowered expectations. I don't know, but either way, if you're a fan of movies and you're worried that Justice League's trash or whatever, I can say that it was a really good movie. I think T enjoyed it, Robert enjoyed it, and it's one of those things where a studio kind of interfering, and I think they kind of maybe lessened what the movie was supposed to be, and whether or not people knew that or not, the movie's kind of the results have been pretty bad for expectations, and we might not get another DC movie, and we might get a reboot or something, an Amazing Spider-Man version of the DC or something terrible like that. So anyway, Robert didn't talk about movies, so I figured I would.
I said Coco, man.
Oh yeah, you did bring up Coco, but no one knew what that was.
You are correct, Jeff Gates. That's right. I told Juice that too. That Superman was saving people before he was Superman in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he saved the kids on the bus.
Even when he was a kid.
Right.
So, I still don't like how his dad died. How Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, look, I'm the biggest Superman fan. I'm the biggest DC fanboy. I hate that. I hated that because it was just like that was a big thing. It was like the one thing Superman could not do was stop his heart attack.
Yeah,
that's the one thing he can't save him from.
He could have saved him from the tornado, though. He could have definitely saved him from that tornado.
Yeah, and he would have. It was just so dumb. But that was my only gripe.
Anyway, that's all I got. So thanks everybody for tuning in. The live chat was very active. We had a good amount of live viewers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast, and have a happy Thanksgiving. My Detroit Lions been playing on Thanksgiving for, I don't know, 60, 70 years, whatever it is. So I always got that to look forward to.
Usually not to look forward to.
Yeah, they've won the last 3, I think.
Oh,
so.
That's true. That's right. They had turned it around.
So yeah, it's a good time because you get 4 days. I'll be playing a lot of gaming. Wednesday night, if anybody wants to have an epic game night, I'm down. Instead of going to the bars, it's a big bar night for those people that like to go out and drink. I like to stay up, make that my video game night. So yeah, look forward to that. If you're on the friends list, you got Rocket League or Doom or something, we'll probably be playing into the wee hours Wednesday night. So but that's it for this podcast. We'll see you next week. Talk some more. I don't know if any major games come out this week, but we'll find something to talk about, and look forward to having everybody back. So we'll see you then.